A life-changing event.
One amazing experience.
It was the highlight of my senior year.
I was completely blown away.
One in a million performance.
An amazing show.
Hello, my name is Michael Hummel, and I was the director of this year's musical, Beauty and the Beast.
My name is Cassidy Kinsley. I'm a senior and I played Belle in Beauty and the Beast this year.
My name is Zach Smith and I played the Beast.
Hey, I'm Ethan Clendetting and I played Gaston in this year's production of Beauty and the Beast.
Hey, I'm Mason Clark and I played Lumiere in this year's Beauty and the Beast.
Hi, I'm Aaron Taylor and I play Cogsworth.
My name is Tyler Hutchinson and I was the theater director for Beauty and the Beast.
I'm Emma Wilson and I played a silly girl in the musical.
This was my first year directing here. It's my first year at Franklin Community High School. My first full year directing a full musical. I have been part of musicals before, directing the vocals and the chorus, but never overseeing the full production.
Working with Franklin and all the students and the teachers was a challenge, trying to get everybody just together on the same page. But it was fun nonetheless. It was a great experience. It was something that I really learned from and I gained a lot of knowledge from, but it was challenging to say the least.
Well, I wasn't really sure what to expect this year because we got a new director and obviously knew how things had gone last year. But I wasn't really sure if I could expect as high a quality of product, but it turns out I really could because I think the show turned out really well. We had huge crowds almost every showing, and yeah, we really pulled it off well, I thought so.
To be honest, I was a little skeptical when I found out we were doing Beauty and the Beast. I don't know why. I had a weird feeling about it, and I didn't really know which role I wanted to go for, so I don't know. At first it was like that, but then when I listened to the music and stuff, and I was more confident in the show. But then I tried out for Beast, and I got Beast. I was really excited about that, obviously, because it's the lead role, so I was happy.
When I figured out that I was Cogsworth, I thought it was pretty awesome because it's pretty fitting to me because, you know, I talk all the time, you know, people don't really listen to me, and I laugh at my own jokes a lot, so, you know, it's something that always happens.
This year in the musical, I learned a lot about just how to interact with different groups of people. Having spent most of my high school career with athletes, it was a great change to kind of switch gears and go into the musical and learn how to work with some people that are completely different from you, that think differently, speak differently than you, and it was just a great learning experience for me.
It was way different than what I've done before. I mean, there's a lot of pieces that are moving, a lot of people to oversee, a lot of things to oversee. We had a very large cast, but it was nice because I got to collaborate with a couple other directors and a lot of different parents and instructors to make the musical the success that it was, and I believe it was a great success.
It was definitely frustrating at times, but I will never forget the fact that despite how frustrating the rehearsals sometimes were, and how there were even times where I was like, I wish I didn't sign up for this, but that is not what I'm going to remember about this musical, because I just remember in the 3 days, 4 performances that we had, we grew closer together as a cast than I ever thought possible. I know I made friends in just the last couple weeks with people that I had never spoken to.
We were definitely very tight on the musical, and it's strange because obviously you would think that the football team, maybe I was closer with some of those kids, but it changes because in the musical, particularly during Hell Week, which is a week before the show, you're with these people from, your 2 choir classes in the day, so you say 8 o'clock a.m., and then you're with them until almost 10 o'clock at night. So, I mean, you're spending so much time with these people that it's hard to not become best friends with some of them, and it's just a different atmosphere. Everybody's easygoing. It's just, we know we're doing something very fun. There's not as much stress maybe as there is in football or basketball, and it's just, it was just different.
I think one of the most difficult things is putting everybody on the same page. You've got lights and you've got sound, you've got choreography, and then sometimes you do things in like the dance studio or the choir room, and then you get to the stage and you find out that they don't work. So you have to go back and re-block things and redo things all over again, which was somewhat time consuming because this was a humongous cast, 60 somewhat cast members, and then when you add the crew and the pit and things like that, you're looking at a little over 100 people to just get all on the same page. So trying to just make sure everything was in sync with each other was very time consuming, but it was fun. It's the life of theater, so I enjoyed it.
The thing I remember most about the musical probably was the feeling right before we went on opening night, just like that total fear almost, but it was fun at the same time, so that's probably what I remember the most. It was definitely a lot different this year because we graduated a lot of seniors last year and I was really good friends with a lot of them, so I wasn't really sure how it was going to be, but the cast this year was awesome, made a lot of new friends. I feel like we had the right cast for the job, and yeah, it all came together really nicely.
Before the very first performance, I was really nervous because we hadn't really done an entire run-through of the show consecutively just because of different things that had gone wrong, so I didn't know what was going to work out and what wasn't, but it all was kind of miraculous. It just came together. Things that had never gone right before just went right because I think everybody was just on their A game because even though it might not have been good, everyone was really committed to making a good show, so I was nervous about it, but it was good. And then progressively with each show, it just got better. So by the end of the last show, it was a good feeling. I felt like, through the process, whether it was good or bad, we did the best that we could do and put the best show forth that we could do. So I was really proud of it at the end of the last show. Being in a musical cast with 80 plus people and the crew, and the last few weeks before the show, you're here basically from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock every night. You get really close with everyone. You can complete their sentences. You all have inside jokes. And every year, the last night before the show's over, we all go around and have senior moments where the seniors just talk about all the people they've met and the experiences they've had, and we just all kind of cry, and it's a little bit cheesy, but you just really grow really close to everyone in the cast, and it's sad when it's over.
Some of my very closest friends I became friends with through musical this year or last year. The rehearsal process is always amazing, but what was different about this one was that the performances are really what brought us together, and we became such a close-knit group of friends in what felt like such a short amount of time.
I felt very, very gratified on Saturday, knowing that from where we started in January, right when we came back to school after Christmas break, to where we ended on Saturday evening, just the amount of growth that had happened amongst the cast, amongst all the directors who were involved, the friendships and bonds that were created, those things can't be overstated and how important they are. It's not just about us putting on a production on stage. It's about all the things that make the cast a family, have that feeling of unity, but also the unity of the people I got to know here at Franklin, both families, parents, working here with Mr. Corliss and others that really helped solidify a friendship and solidify our working relationship in a positive way. So, afterwards I was very pleased. I was glad that it met my expectation. I was glad that it met our students' expectations, and I'm glad that it met our audience expectations too. We had over 600 people attend each show as an average, which is very good. Eventually we want that to even grow more. So, I think overall, I think the expectations and what I wanted were met. I thought the kids sang well. I thought they acted great. I thought our set was fantastic. Our pit orchestra played great. Our tech crew, designers, families, parents, and the community all got on board. And that's really what I wanted to see happen, and it did. It was a lot of hard work, but in the end, it truly paid off. When you could see the kids of the cast and the families of those students out in the foyer at the end of the last show and see how emotionally moved they were by being part of the show, seeing how the audience responded with standing ovations at each show, that's when you could tell that no matter what the troubles were, the struggles, or the complexities of the show, it was worth it and that it paid off.
The musical, the performances themselves felt like they went by so fast. And it was almost like when it was our last performance, it didn't feel like our last performance. And then like the seniors had their senior moment and gave their speeches. And a lot of my friends are, in the class of 2013. And I can't imagine musical without them. And like, when it was over, it didn't feel real. It didn't feel like the last show. Like, I knew in the back of my mind it was the last show, but it didn't truly feel like the last show until we came out at the end when we sang, the last song and Take Our Bows. And I just remember everyone on stage was crying, and we got out into the auditorium and everyone was crying. And again, it was just, no matter how hard that rehearsal process was, like, we all became so close that it did not matter how hard it was or how much we struggled. I am almost certain that no one in that cast at that moment wanted this to be over. Like, I'm sitting here now after school, and it's like, why am I not in rehearsal? Why do I have 7 more hours of free time than I've had the past few weeks? Like, it's heartbreaking that it's over. And I'll keep the memories and they'll make me happy, but it's just, it feels unreal that it's over.
I just want to thank everyone here in the Franklin School community and in the greater Franklin community at large for supporting the show, for supporting me. Many of you have said very kind things. You've passed along your congratulations to our cast. You were supportive during the long hours of rehearsal, during all the things that went into making this show. Everybody who played an important part, just want to say thank you for that. There wasn't a part that was more important than others. It took an army to run the show this year, and you truly came out in droves to help. I just want to thank our administration for their support as well. To undergo a show and to do something this big takes a lot of faith and courage, and I hope that they understand that it was well worth it, and that in the end that step of faith led to a lot of growth, a lot of opportunity, and a lot of lives changed. And I just want to thank my cast, everyone who was involved, the singers, the dancers. It was just an amazing process. We learned a lot from each other. We learned a lot through the process of just growing and meeting together and singing and acting. And I know that you inspired me, and hopefully you were inspired by being part of the show. So I really appreciate my cast and crew and the pit for all that they've done for the show. And we actually had over 50 businesses, families, outside entities partner with our school and our students and the choral music department to put on the show, which I think is fantastic. We wanted something that would outreach to the younger students in our community. We want to create and continue to create a level of buzz and excitement, which I believe is here at the school, about the choral music program and about vocal music and performing arts as a whole. And so a show that's very visible and well known, and one that has wide mass appeal, we thought would be a great way to start our time here, my time here at Franklin.
I thoroughly enjoyed my first year in the musical. I was really nervous going into it because I didn't know exactly what to expect. But I can hands down say I had more fun doing this than I've ever had playing a sport, doing a club, and it was definitely a good decision doing the musical.